Hey everyone, wanted to record a quick video and show you how we work in VR here at Fluff Software. We're really embracing remote working here at Fluff, and that includes exploring all opportunities and avenues beyond just the usual Microsoft Teams meetings or occasionally heading into an office. Um, and we use Immersed, which is a great app for working in VR. We use it working by ourselves, but also working with our colleagues as well, like Orban over there. Um, and yeah, wanted to show you through some of the features, some of the things that we use day to day to help us work effectively and manage software projects. Um, so to start off with, obviously you can see here we've got a couple of screens, and you can create as many screens as you want. They're nice big screens, really crystal clear with no lag at all. Um, and the great thing is we can expand these at any point as well. So if I'm suddenly working on a project that needs an extra screen, rather than have to hook up another monitor to my actual machine, we can press one button and we've got another screen ready to go. And these are nice and easy to work with and expand out as we need to. And you can use them and interact with them just as you would any other screens. There we go. Having these nice big screens makes coding really easy to work with as well. You can see that I've got my code here, really easy to work with no lag again. I can have multiple screens and see the output as well, which makes it really easy to use. I can also use other screens just like this one to have things in the background. So here I've got LinkedIn just to check for any updates to my feed. And I've got our project up top there as well, which makes working on projects together really, really easy. Now, the other great thing, of course, is that because this is all from my headset, from the Oculus 2 headset, I've got this exact same setup with my nice big screens wherever I'm working from. So at the moment I'm sat on my desk in front of my actual MacBook, but quite easily I could move my MacBook and me over to the sofa and have the exact same setup. The environments as well, there are lots of environments within Immersed, and if I just quickly hide my screens for a second, you can see that these are really high quality environments, and they're great as well because even though they are high quality and there's lots of interesting stuff to look at, you find that when you get into the work, these kind of melt away into the background and it's really easy to focus on what you're doing. Now in this room, there's just two of us at the moment, and we find this quite a cozy room that we often work out of. This is kind of our standard little office that we head to. And as you can see, Orban's working away by himself there, but hopefully if he can hear me, he should be able to say hello as well. There we go. We've got his audio off at the moment just for recording purposes. But the nice thing is you can see his avatar there. It's pretty distraction free again. We can use our hands to be nice and expressive with full hand tracking enabled as well, which is great. There we go. And that really helps for kind of being in the same room with someone else. So we quite often hop into these rooms just to work together or on our own individual projects. And just like in a real office, it's nice having someone sitting there by you, working away either quietly or just having someone to be able to chat with whilst you get on with your work. And of course, the other great thing about that is as well that we can work on things together in here. So we can share as many screens as we want to with one another, which makes it really easy to collaborate on different projects. Things like stand-up meetings, for example, or stand-up sessions are really easy to do here. So, for example, Auburn, have you got something you could share with us on your screen? There we go. Share the screen. If we bring that over here, you can see that I can treat this almost as if it was one of my screens now. And we can see that Auburn's here sharing something that he's working on. So this is really great for stand-up settings or just helping each other through ideas as well. That's great, Auburn, thanks. And the other thing that's really useful as well is to be able to brainstorm in these places. We find that even though Auburn and I are across different parts of the country, being virtually in the same place together makes it really easy to chat and come up with ideas. And if I quickly show you one of our Fig Jam channels. So we find that actually using something like Fig Jam is still a great way to come up with ideas and use a virtual whiteboard together. We find this easier than using some of the inbuilt virtual whiteboards at the moment in the metaverse. Because we can see each other and use our hand gestures and talk to each other, we can still use something like this to record our thoughts nice and easily and work with each other that way. Now, the other great thing about working from the metaverse is that it's kind of opt in and opt out at any point, right? So I can work in here and get focus if I want to. I can hop into my own private room if I decide I want some focus time. Equally, Auburn, if he decides he wants to go back to his physical desk and work from there, he can hop out at any point as well. And there's no commute time that you would normally get between going to a physical office to meet people and going back to your desk, which is really cool. We can also involve people in our sessions that aren't actually in the metaverse as well. So the great thing about Immersed is that it comes with a virtual webcam, which you can see just there. So if I hop onto something like a Round, which we use for our internal video calls, go into our virtual office here. There we go, it's popped over here. So you can see that my standard webcam is showing me here with my headset on, but if I switch my camera now to the Immersed webcam and then drag this over here, we can see that people can see my own avatar as well, and normally this updates in real time, so they can see me talking and gesturing just like they would in the real world. Now, one last thing we use the metaverse for quite a lot is not just for work purposes, but for having fun together as well. We quite often hop off into other apps as well to play a game of mini golf or a game of virtual table tennis together. But even within Immersed, we quite often at the end of a hard work week will come into a room like this, put a big video on in the background to share the screen and watch a movie together. And of course, it's also a great place just to hang out and chat with each other as well. Hopefully that's a nice insight into how we use VR here at Fluff to improve our working situation remotely and really get the best out of working hundreds of miles apart from one another.